Our planet is filled with breathtaking geographical wonders that defy all logic and push the limits of what we believe is possible. Imagine a country larger than an entire planet, a city so small you could count its residents on your fingers, or a place where the air is so cold it freezes as you breathe it in. As unbelievable as it sounds, there's even an island inside a lake, located on another island that's also inside a lake. From mysteriously vanished lakes to rivers hidden beneath the ocean, get ready to discover 50 incredible geographic curiosities that will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about the world. Before we begin, if you love exploring the most surprising and unbelievable places on Earth, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos. Now, let's dive right into number 1. At number 1, did you know there's a place where lightning strikes more often than anywhere else on the planet? It's Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela, which holds the world record for lightning strikes per square kilometer, with about 260 stormy days every year. This natural spectacle, known as the Catatumbo lightning, can produce up to 28 flashes per minute, making it one of the most fascinating weather phenomena on Earth. At number 2, everyone loves a little snow. But did you know there's a spot on Earth so freezing that even the air from your breath can turn to ice? Antarctica records some of the lowest temperatures on the planet during winter, averaging around -34 degrees, and sometimes dropping even further. During the Antarctic winter, temperatures can reach extreme levels, down to -89 degrees, the coldest ever recorded on Earth. So if you ever think about visiting this frozen continent, you'd better bring plenty of warm clothes, and maybe even an extra blanket. At number 3, we travel to the Philippines, where there's a natural formation so curious it seems to defy geography itself. An island within a lake, on an island within another lake, that sits on an even larger island. This unique phenomenon is known as Vulcan Point, a small rocky island located inside the main crater lake, which itself lies within an active volcano that belongs to the country's largest island. Luzon is considered one of the rarest geological formations on the planet. At number 4, the world is full of places with unusual names. But do you know which place has the longest name in the entire world? It's in New Zealand, and honestly, it's almost impossible to pronounce. It's a hill on the North Island whose name, when translated, means the summit where Tama, the man with big knees who climbed mountains and valleys, known as the Land Eater, played his flute to his beloved. Impressive, isn't it? At number 5, did you know the Dead Sea isn't actually a sea but a salt lake? Because of its extremely high salt concentration, it earned that name over time. Its waters are so dense that you can float effortlessly on the surface. A true natural wonder, among the saltiest bodies of water on Earth. Around 10,000 years ago, what we now know as the Sahara Desert was actually a lush region filled with forests, lakes, and human communities. This fertile era, known as the African humid period, ended gradually due to changes in Earth's orbit and atmospheric currents, transforming that green landscape into the vast arid expanse we know today. The largest hot desert on the planet. At number 7, we head to Greenland, a place so vast that early explorers once mistook it for an entire continent. Considered the largest island in the world, It stretches across an astonishing 2.16 million square kilometers. Beneath its frozen landscape lies an ice sheet with an average thickness of about 2.4 kilometers. If all that ice were to melt, sea levels around the world would rise dramatically. With a population of only about 56,000 people, Greenland remains one of the most isolated and sparsely populated territories on Earth. At number 8, we dive into the waters of the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. One of the most incredible natural wonders on the planet. It's so massive it can be seen from space, stretching for over 2,300 kilometers and made up of nearly 3,000 reefs and 900 islands. It's the largest coral system in the world, a dazzling spectacle of color and marine life so vast that when you look at satellite images of Australia's coastline, that bright bluish patch you see in the ocean is most likely it, the majestic Great Barrier Reef. At number 10, Mount Everest is the tallest mountain on Earth, but there's something even more fascinating about it. It continues to grow, driven by the constant movement of Earth's tectonic plates. The mountain rises about 4 millimeters, or roughly 1.6 centimeters, every year. This growth may be slow, but it's steady, and it's changing the highest point on the planet. That means in the future, climbers will face an even greater challenge. At number 11, among the more than 304 million lakes on Earth, one stands out in a truly remarkable way. Lake Baikal in Russia. It holds nearly 20% of all the world's fresh water, making it the deepest lake on Earth, reaching 1,642 meters, and also the oldest, around 25 million years old. If all its water were drained, every river on the planet combined would take a full year to fill it back up. At number 12 comes a curiosity of cosmic proportions. Russia is so massive that it's actually larger than Pluto. The country covers roughly 17 million square kilometers, while the dwarf planet has about 16.6 million. That means if Pluto were placed over a map of Russia, it wouldn't cover the whole country. Amazing, right? Russia isn't just larger than many nations. It's literally bigger than an entire planet. It's hard to truly grasp the sheer magnitude of that territory. That's how you measure the vastness of Russia. At number 13 comes an almost unbelievable fact. There are more trees on Earth than stars in our galaxy. Though it sounds impossible, scientists estimate there are about 3 trillion trees on our planet, while the Milky Way has between 100 and 400 billion stars. Even after centuries of deforestation, forests still cover around 31% of Earth's surface. Just imagine how green and lush our planet would be if we hadn't destroyed so much of its vegetation over time. At number 14, let's talk about snakes. Creatures many people fear, and for good reason. They can appear out of nowhere, and some carry deadly venom. But there's one place where you'll never find a single snake: Antarctica. The extreme cold of that continent makes it impossible for any snake species to survive there, making it the only continent completely free of serpents. At least until they somehow evolve to withstand sub-zero temperatures, which is highly unlikely. Antarctica will remain their natural limit for millions of years to come. At number 15, we head to Istanbul, a truly unique city. It's one of the few in the world that spans 2 continents, Europe and Asia, separated only by the Bosphorus Strait. This location has made Istanbul a living bridge between East and West for centuries, shaping its culture, architecture, and history in a way like no other. Every day, thousands of people cross from one continent to another, as if they were simply crossing a street. At number 16, we find Mauna Loa in Hawaii, the largest volcano on Earth when measured from its base on the ocean floor. It reaches an incredible 9,000 meters in total height, making it even taller than Mount Everest if measured from base to summit. At number 17 comes something literally brilliant: Las Vegas, the brightest city on the planet when seen from space. Millions of neon lights and glowing signs turned the famous Las Vegas Strip into a true spectacle of illumination. Its glow is so intense that astronauts can easily spot it from the International Space Station. At number 18, there's a place where you can experience something truly amazing, standing in two hemispheres at the same time. This spot is called the Mitad Del Mundo, the middle of the world, located in Ecuador, sitting exactly on the imaginary line that divides the planet between north and south. Visitors can literally pose with one foot in each hemisphere, making it one of the most fascinating geographical landmarks on Earth. Although modern GPS measurements have slightly adjusted the location of the true equator, the monument remains an iconic tourist attraction for those who want to experience this unique sensation. At number 19, the focus shifts to the planet's population. Today, there are about 8 billion people in the world, but nearly 1/3 of all humanity lives in just 2 countries, China and India. Together, these 2 nations hold over 2.8 billion inhabitants, making them the most populous countries on Earth, and shaping both the global economy and culture. At number 20, if Mount Everest represents the highest point on Earth, then the Challenger Deep marks the deepest. Located in the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean, it reaches an incredible depth of about 11,000 meters, roughly the same as stacking the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, 13 times in a row. It's one of the most remote and mysterious regions on the planet. At number 21, we travel to Whittier, Alaska, a curious little town where nearly all of its 200 residents live in the same building, the Begich Towers. This 14-story structure houses an entire community, including a post office, school, grocery store, church, and even a medical clinic. In other words, the residents practically live in a self-contained urban microcosm under one roof, and many go weeks without ever leaving the building. At number 22, there's a fascinating landmark in the United States, the Four Corners Monument. Here you can stand in 4 states at the same time: Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, and Utah. No tricks or illusions, just one step in each direction. A unique geographical curiosity that attracts visitors from all over the world. At number 23, we head to the Maldives, the flattest country on Earth. Its highest natural point rises only about 2.4 meters above sea level, and the difference between its highest and lowest points is just 5 meters. This makes the entire archipelago extremely vulnerable to rising sea levels and climate change. Scientists warn that if the ocean keeps rising at the current pace, the country could one day be completely submerged. At number 24, the spotlight turns to Canada, home to more lakes than the rest of the world combined. There are over 879,000 of them scattered across the country, accounting for about 62% of all the planet's freshwater lakes. The largest of them, Lake Superior, holds so much water that it could cover all of North and South America with a 30-centimeter layer. That makes Canada a true paradise for nature lovers, freshwater enthusiasts, and outdoor adventurers. At number 25, we return to Antarctica, famous for being snake-free, but also home to one of the driest places on Earth, the McMurdo Dry Valleys. This region receives so little precipitation that some areas haven't seen rain for millions of years, making it one of the most extreme deserts on the planet, even though it's surrounded by ice. At number 28, we find the majestic Andes mountain range, stretching along the entire western edge of South America. It spans an impressive 7,000 kilometers across 7 countries and is home to breathtaking landscapes, ancient civilizations, and the mighty Mount Aconcagua, the highest peak outside of Asia. It stands as a true symbol of the continent's geographical greatness. At number 29, imagine waking up one day to find that an entire city, like New York, Shanghai, or Mumbai, had vanished beneath the sea without a trace. Though it sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, that's exactly what happened to the ancient Egyptian city of Heracleion. This once thriving center of trade and culture mysteriously sank into the Mediterranean Sea around 1,200 years ago. Rediscovered in the year 2000, it revealed stunning ruins, statues, and artifacts perfectly preserved underwater. At number 30, the Grand Canyon, carved by the Colorado River over millions of years, is so vast that it actually creates its own weather patterns. The differences in elevation between the canyon floor and its rim cause dramatic variations in temperature, wind, and rainfall. As air moves through the canyon's depths, it interacts with the rugged terrain, triggering sudden weather changes, including unexpected storms and fog. At number 31, while Russia is the largest country in the world, there's also the smallest, Vatican City. With just 0.49 square kilometers, it was recognized as a sovereign state in 1929 through the Lateran Treaty, granting it independence from Italy. This tiny territory is home to the Pope, featuring breathtaking architecture and priceless works of art, making it one of the most unique and symbolic places on Earth. At number 32, here's a surprising fact. Nearly 90% of the world's population lives in the Northern Hemisphere. Of the nearly 8 billion people on the planet, about 6 billion live in this half of the globe, showing how unevenly humanity is distributed. Roughly 5.7 billion people live north of the equator. This vast region includes major continents like North America, Europe, most of Africa, Asia, and parts of South America, making it the most densely populated half of the planet. At number 33, Sweden holds an impressive record. It has the largest number of islands in the world, totaling around 267,000. Many of them are uninhabited, and only 984 have permanent residents, some with just small homes or cottages. At number 34, imagine living in a place where the sun never sets for months. Welcome to Norway, one of the northernmost inhabited regions on Earth. During summer, these Arctic towns experience the phenomenon known as the midnight sun, with continuous daylight lasting for weeks. This happens because of Earth's 23.5-degree tilt, which causes the North Pole to lean toward the sun during the Northern Hemisphere's summer, creating endless days of sunlight. At number 35, here's a fascinating population fact. California has almost as many people as the entire country of Canada. Even though Canada is the second largest nation on Earth by land area, with about 40 million inhabitants, California alone has over 39 million residents, nearly the same population in just a fraction of the territory. At number 36, meet Mount Deception in Australia. It stands about 800 meters or roughly 2,600 feet tall. The mountain earned its name back in 1824 when explorers, expecting a majestic view, were disappointed to find nothing but a dense cover of trees with no sweeping panoramas in sight. Ironically, the name never lost its meaning, and today, it's a popular destination for hikers. At number 37, Nepal stands out for having the only national flag in the world that isn't rectangular. Made up of two stacked triangles, its design symbolizes the Himalayas and the country's two main religions, Hinduism and Buddhism, reflecting Nepal's unique cultural and geographical identity. Number 38. The Amazon River is home to one of the rarest and most fascinating species on the planet, the pink river dolphin. Unlike marine dolphins, these freshwater ones have a pinkish hue caused by the closeness of their blood vessels to the skin. They can even become brighter pink when excited or agitated, making them truly mysterious and remarkably adaptable creatures. At number 39, Bolivia's Salar de Uyuni is the largest salt flat in the world, spanning over 10,000 square kilometers. During the rainy season, a thin layer of water turns the region into a massive mirror, blurring the line between earth and sky, and creating one of the most surreal and breathtaking landscapes on Earth.
At number 40, Africa is the only continent that stretches across all four hemispheres: north, south, east, and west. This unique geographic position makes it a truly central landmass on the globe, shaping its climate, biodiversity, and cultural diversity. At number 41, we have the Kola Superdeep borehole in Russia, the deepest hole ever drilled by humans, reaching an incredible 12.26 kilometers into Earth's crust. The Soviet project, launched in 1970, aimed to study Earth's deep structure. But drilling had to stop in 1992 when temperatures surpassed 180 degrees Celsius, making it impossible to continue. At number 42, when we think of pyramids, Egypt usually comes to mind. But surprisingly, the country with the most pyramids is actually Sudan. It has more than 200 pyramids, surpassing Egypt's 180, built by the ancient kingdom of Kush. These Nubian pyramids reflect the sophistication and power of a civilization that once thrived in the region. At number 43, Tokyo, Japan, stands as the most populous city in the world. Its metropolitan area is home to over 37 million people. Recognized as a global financial powerhouse and a cultural epicenter, Tokyo blends ancient traditions with cutting-edge technology, attracting millions of visitors every year. On the other hand, at number 44, the least populated city in the world is Monowi in Nebraska, USA, with only a single resident, Elsie. She fulfills every civic role: mayor, librarian, bartender, and manager of the town's only business, a small tavern. Despite the solitude, Elsie embraces her unique role, keeping the history of Monowi alive as one of the world's most remarkable one-person towns. At number 45, Australia delivers another surprise. Its continental diameter is larger than that of the Moon. While Earth's natural satellite measures about 3,474 kilometers across, Australia stretches approximately 4,000 kilometers from east to west. That means if the Moon were placed over the continent, there would still be land left beyond its edges. At number 47, Australia also boasts a coastline of more than 50,000 kilometers and over 10,000 stunning beaches. If you visited a different beach every single day, it would take you about 27 years to see them all, making the country an absolute paradise for beach and nature lovers. At number 48, China covers an enormous area of 3.7 million square miles. But interestingly, the entire nation follows only one time zone: Beijing time. In contrast, the United States has 6 time zones, while Russia, the largest country in the world, is divided into an astounding 11. And finally, we arrive at number 49. You might assume the largest forest on Earth is the Amazon, but that's not exactly true. The biggest is actually the Taiga, while the Amazon remains the largest tropical rainforest. The Taiga is the planet's largest boreal forest, spanning about 17 million square kilometers, or around 6.5 million square miles, stretching across Russia, Canada, Alaska, the United States, and Scandinavia, forming a vast green belt around the Northern Hemisphere. And so, we come to the end of the 49 most incredible geographic facts in the world, from ancient sunken cities to extraordinary natural wonders. Our planet is full of fascinating surprises, proving just how unique and mysterious Earth truly is. Which of these facts amazed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our next incredible discoveries.